Hey guys, it's Joette with BalloonCoach.com, and today we have a wonderful lunch and learn from one of our amazing instructors from Balloon Boss Summit, Jenny Porter. She is from Canada. Her company is Three Sparrows Balloon Studio, and I adore Jenny. She has a heart of gold. She loves to give back to the industry, and I originally met her when she came to Balloon Boss Summit many years ago. And one of the things people always ask me is like, how do you become an instructor in the industry? Well, one way is you go to events and you compete and you win competitions, and then people ask you to teach. Others is you create cool balloons and somebody sees you from a manufacturer and asks you to teach. Or another is the way Jenny started, is that she came to Balloon Boss Summit in Orlando and she started helping one of the instructors prep for their classes. And any time in the evening when we were not in class, she was always asking, how can I help? What can I do? And that is one of the best ways to learn when you go to any learning event, is to help with the prep before the class and after the class with cleanup, to get to know different tips and tricks to show that you have an interest in the industry. And then as you build your balloons in your business, show that you know what you're doing and that you do a great job. And Jenny definitely does that. So before Jenny gets started, I just want to throw out there that if you don't have a stuffing machine like she currently has, but you want to make some pop drops for this season and aren't able to get a stuffer in, you can use a 16-inch or an 18-inch balloon. And then it doesn't have to be clear. You don't have to have people see what's inside the balloon. It can be a surprise. And then 24 5-inch balloons. And then an inflator. It can be just a hand pump or any other electric inflator, and then a balloon stick. And what we'll do is, after Jenny's presentation, I'll show you some tips and tricks and ways to do it if you don't currently have a stuffing machine. Let her do her presentation, and then you can ask questions. I'll be your voice if needed while she's talking. You can put into the chat, and then at the end we'll open it up for live Q&A. So guys, I'm looking forward to having Jenny's presentation today. So without further ado, I am going to stop my share and say welcome to everybody. Glad to have you here. And Jenny, take it away.
Amazing. Okay, so hold on, I gotta turn it. I'm like watching I wanted to make sure my screen, I could see everything, so I put on another screen.
Perfect.
So I am Jenny Porter. I own Three Sparrows Balloon Studio here in Oshawa, Canada, and I have been in the business for I think I'm going in my 9th year, because we're going into 7 years.
Good. We have somebody at 11.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So I've been doing this for 9 years, and then I'm going into my 7th year at Balloon Boss Summit, which is crazy. So today, I know that you guys, Marlene Potts couldn't make it this year to Summit, so we kind of missed out on seeing a whole bunch of like stuffing items. But everything I learned about stuffing, I learned from Marlene Potts. So I think that's pretty amazing that
Jenny, we're not hearing you.
oh, there I go. Okay, is that better?
Yes, you're good.
So everything I learned is from Marlene Potts. This isn't a new technique. She's actually the reason I bought this machine, because I used to use the T-Rex, which is like it's like an ancient machine that's really hard on your hands.
Yes.
But it does work. I can remember doing it like my first year, and I like really like ripped apart my like sides of my hands trying to push balloons through, and decided that wasn't for me anymore. So the stuffing balloons that I really like are from Jamar. I find they are really great, and they have a really wide neck, and they're really easy to roll. So if you haven't tried them and you've used other brands, I highly recommend them. And oftentimes they have really good patterns too. So today we're going to use I'll bring it kind of closer. They have like this really nice star pattern, which I think is great for New Year's. So when I do this, I always overinflate the balloon, which I won't do today because it's really loud. But you overinflate it, and then you turn it inside out if you're using the balloon stuffer. And I found before is if you don't roll the edges down for this, it'll pop off. So this like miraculous invention, which has been around like forever, will make it really easy for you. So you can own this part of it without even owning a stuffing machine. So literally, can you see that it went on? Okay. And you're literally pulling these. So, and you can see really close that it's all the way over. This makes it really easy once you put it on. And you can let go here. And then all you do is just push this down and turn. And literally that's it. It's on. So that gives you your secure. I find, I'm not sure you can see that close, but because I rolled the top of the neck down, there's no way this is popping off. And you stuff your balloon inside. The reason it goes inside out first is so that this portion is the right side up. This little thing has this great button, and you'll hear it at the end. It goes, that's when you know to stop. If you don't inflate it all the way, you'll lose air.
All right, Jenny, I'm going to pause you for just 1 second. I know LaDonna asked if she's a way to get a full view of Jenny. You should be seeing a full view of Jenny. I have her as a speaker view. You may just have to push on speaker. Is there anyone else who's not being able to see Jenny full? While I'm talking, you're not going to see it, but when I stop talking, you should be able to see her full.
Let me move this closer.
All right, so go ahead and talk, Jenny.
I moved it closer too. I'll do it one more time after, kind of like a bit faster. So once this is like this, you're just literally throwing your stuff in. So without throwing it in, I'm just gonna do it again. So I literally, after I'm done, I twist it, and then that's your balloon fully done. I'm gonna do it one more time just so you can see it. I literally have reused this balloon 3 times. So that's how you know you have a good balloon and it's not going to pop, but also that you've over inflated it well enough so that it has extra room to grow. So we'll do it one more time and then we'll actually stuff it.
Cool. So one of the things I'm hearing you're saying, it's good to to inflate it ahead of time sometimes before you put anything in it to make sure it's nice and stretched.
Yeah, you want to make sure that it's over inflated so that it has that extra room to grow. So it's not stiff when you're throwing all your stuff in. And then when people are throwing it into the back of their trunk, it still has that pliability and that give. If it were to kind of hit something, it probably won't pop. When it's stiff and over, like it hasn't been overinflated, it has no give. So that's kind of really important. So I put it inside out. I'm going to roll my neck. I don't even know what this is called. Is it like have an actual name to it?
Yeah, I'll get it. Just 1 second.
And literally you can see that like
Expander.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Sherry. You're literally just like expanding it. And then it pops onto this. And then all you're doing is just pushing down and kind of twisting it. And then you're stuffing your balloon inside again. So I'm just going to expand it again. You hear that like weird sound? That's the sound of success. So like this little top part is really important if you're using sharp items. So like for balloons, like we're stuffing, it's not a big deal, but this is to cover your neck. so that nothing like grazes or like hurts it. I pre-blew up my like stuffed items. Okay, so there we go. You can hear me, eh, Joette? Okay, I see Kristen nodding her head. So I like to use curlies in mine. I think it's just really cute, and I think kids like to play with them. So it just gives that added perceived value. So when you're charging that little bit extra, it's because you know what you're doing. You have that ability to give those extra things. So I like to put those in early. Oh, wait, I like to put my confetti in first. I'm a big liar. So confetti is like, be nice. Use bigger confetti. Sometimes I'm not because I just use what I have. But I don't overdo the confetti because I am a parent too, and I think it's mean. So to have to clean that up on New Year's. So we'll throw that in first. Okay, that should be enough. There's like no rhyme or reason for me. I should actually like probably know how much to put in each one, but I just kind of throw it in until I feel like it's enough. And then literally for curly cues, you're just like kind of spinning them in until they get in there. And then I use 3 curly cues and 25-inch. Like sucking it back to the top. So it's pretty straightforward. I like the colored ones. I offer 2 different versions. I offer colored and I offer black, white, silver, and gold, and that's it. When I do my sheet, that's all I offer. And I offer 2 pickup times on the day before New Year's, which is the 30th in the afternoon. And then I offer the morning of the New Year's Eve, and that's it. I don't know. I feel like you should have a vacation too. So like you can put your own parameters on when people pick up. They're all the other good thing about stuffed balloons is that if you lose air in this, it doesn't matter because you just hand pump the air back in. When you do something precise, like if you're doing like a gift inside it, like you need to like ensure that it's perfect. But for this, there's no perfection, and I think that's why like I happily do it. I don't do stuffed balloons for anything else. I take this machine out at New Year's, and that's it. Because I don't.
I'm going to throw it out there then for you to start promoting doing poppers for birthdays, graduations, for other times of the year.
I'm so like I don't enjoy it as much as I should. It's easy money. Like it's super easy money, but I don't know. There's something about it that I just don't love. Okay, this is the hard but easy part. So when you're pulling this off, when you have a stuffing machine, it shouldn't lose air. Like you should. I'm gonna pull this like. See how you can see that I haven't done anything. Like you can see the nozzle. It should just be fine. So this is a hard kind of part to show, but I'll pull it up if I can. I literally twist it and then lift. And then because it's so tight in here, I'll take my hand pump and add a couple puffs of air. because I know that I have room to move. And then I always just shake it up a bit. So there's two ways to tie. So you can tie it in a knot, which is what I do. Or let me see if
So Jenny, if you can just make sure you stand in front of the machine or right behind it so we can see you when you go to do it.
yeah, I'm gonna grab one of these clips. Have you guys seen these before? There are these clips and they are really great, but I don't think that they're necessary for these pop drops. Have you ever used these, Joette? Like these clips?
Yeah, I have not.
I think it was like one of those things that like someone said, you should use these too. And I'm like, yep, I'll buy all the things that make it work. I'm just gonna kind of switch more air into this. Okay. So here's what I like to do. So when I tie my knots, can you see me okay? I tie like this and I leave a gap. I take my ribbon, which would normally be like on a spool on my desk, but we're not doing that today. And I pull it through. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then I pull the knot. So now this is my hanging portion. So it makes it so, let's see. Okay. So you can adjust it, one, for the length that you want. I don't know, it's just something I've always done. I don't tie a knot to it. I don't do anything extra. And then I have my quad of 4. And I use my knot to be my bracing point. The tip twist it around. And that's your stuffing balloon. So I do like to add a little bit extra perceived value, which is the twisted balloons. Like, what do these cost? Like 20 cents maybe? Like, if that. I tie them like this. And then so that is your stuffed balloon. I think I probably could like tie it so we can see it somewhere. But can you see that okay? Like, how fun is that? Easy peasy. I do add decals to mine because I'm fancy. But I only offer 2. So one says New Year's Crew 2024 and one says Hello 2024. Because I think people like when they're doing pictures to like have that number on there, but I charge for it. And I just like, I know that I do approximately 40 of these a year at the very least. So I pre-do them, which is a bit of work, but I don't know. I think it's really cute and easy. And like my kids love them every year. So the next portion that I want to show you is how I do my popping sticks, which I think is like Kristen said, like, I know how to do balloon poppers. And she's like, so it's not new to me. I said, well, Mike, I could show people how I do my popping sticks. And she's like, yep, I'm interested in that. So everybody's a little bit interested in something different. I'd use my stool, but Kristen took it. She borrowed it for a job.
So a couple of questions that have come up, Jenny, if you're willing to, after you show us the popper, is if you have your machine where you can show us how to make a curl. And if not, I can pull my machine out afterwards and show that.
I was just trying to see if I could hang it, but I don't really have anything like
to hang from.
Yeah. It's such a weird, I'm in a garage, like that's where I work out of. So like if people are wondering like, this is a slide, yes it is. This is my like detached garage workshop now. And it's kind of funny, this side over there sometimes has it. So this is my popping wand. So I'll show you up front what I do, what mine looks like. This is what I hand to you for every single one that you get. It's so easy. So can you see me okay? Like I can't see myself, so I feel like I just see everybody else.
Yes, as long as you're standing at that point, it's great to see you right there.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And then, guys, I will ask the questions you've been typing in the chat after she shows us this part. I want to make sure that this is condensed for people who just want to see these two pieces, and then we'll go into the questions and answers. So, Ginny, if you can repeat what this actually is that it's made out of.
Okay, so this is what I hand to my clients. So I hate seeing people use knives. I feel like it's super dangerous, but I know that people do it. Like you watch those gender reveals and they give their kid a knife to hit it and you're just like, oh my God. I use paper clips. So I'll break down all the pieces for you. So I use straws or the straws are super cheap at the dollar store. Or you can use like wooden dowels I've used before. But I think the straw is kind of cute and easy. And then I used to make my own stars. So, but I don't anymore. Now I just buy the pre-cut. So I bought these at Hobby Lobby when I was in the States. They're called Stickabilities and they're pre-cut. So stars are a great shape to use for this because they're the exact same on both sides. So these ones, you can make your own on your, like if you're really good and crafty and stuff with your silhouette or Cricut. That's kind of what the back of the packaging looks like. Okay. So what I do is I take, yes, who's chatting me or we're okay. I take a paper clip, just a regular old paper clip, and I pull the top end open. Okay. I just literally use Scotch tape to tape it to my straw. So can you see that? It's like nothing fancy about it. Like if you handed this to someone, it's kind of like, you could, I guess, it'd be fine. But it's not as pretty as what we're going to make it here. So literally that's like your starting point. Open your paper clip, tape it to the straw. Then you're going to take two matching stars. So I do like the bigger ones. I find that they're a bit easier to work with. Okay. These are actually stickers, but they don't stick very well. So just be aware, like you can't just leave it. You'll have to use glue dots, but they are technically stickers. So what I do is you can either do it this way where it's like right at the point or on the side. I like to do the side here. I find that it'll curl down easier. But at least the sticker makes it so this straw sticks to it. So I just add a piece of little bit of tape. Do you want me to move it closer, Joette, or? Let's see if I can.
Cool, thanks.
Is that okay?
Yeah, and what you were doing was perfect because you were showing it up to the camera.
Perfect. Okay, so I just add a little piece of tape here.
And then are you using U-glue dashes or are you using Scotch tape?
I'm using U-glue dashes, which I love. I love pro tapes. I think they're just so easy to use. So I'm going to just add a couple here to this so I can show you what I use, these ones in the box. I find this is the cheapest way to go about it, buying the box, but I know it's a big investment. So I do 3. So I don't want it to fall apart and I don't want to be that person that people are upset with. Okay. So when you're doing the secondary part, you have to kind of push it over. So you match it up. And then you kind of just smush it on either side. Okay. So now you have it like this. So even this is really cute. It's like, you don't have to go the extra mile, but we will. I like to just add a smidge of ribbon.
So a quick question, the straw that you bought, was it purchased where it was the white stripe on it?
Yeah, this was like, you can buy these kind of fancy straws at the dollar store.
And are they cardboard, paper?
Yeah, they're paper straws.
Okay.
So you usually get like a fair amount of them, and they probably have New Year's Eve ones where they say like New Year's on it or have little hats. Like I literally just found these in my New Year's. I have like a New Year's box that I just like reuse stuff every year. And I was like, ooh, this would work better than dowels, and it's probably cheaper. So then I just put 2 pieces of ribbon together. Like no rhyme or reason, like you pick whatever ribbon you have. I just found this in my ribbon box. And I tie like a knot as tight as I can around it, and I literally just slide it up the pole here. And that's literally it. So that's your popper. This will pop the balloon. It's sharp enough, but it's also safe for kids. So when you give it to the parent or whomever's picking up, you fold this over. So it's super safe. It's not going to pop the balloon in the car. It's easy peasy. It's really cute. And I can pre-make these, right? So that I have them ready to go. And that's your popper. And you just literally, when they get here, they just open it up and pop. Does that make sense? Is that easy? I think it's easy.
That is awesome tips, Jenny. I absolutely love it. And so what I want to do is check if you are able to
Pull my machine back around.
show people how to make, bring the machine around so they know what it is. And I'll put the links up for everybody and show people where they can get it from. And then also, do you have your machine to be able to show people how to make curly cues, or do you need me to?
I'll show you how I make curly cues.
Cool.
You don't have me. How everybody does that.
Right. So while she's pulling that stuff together, guys, I'm just going to show you a couple of images online to answer the questions. So I'll share my screen and then we'll go back to Jenny while she's getting that set up. So we are going, actually, you were just set up really quick. So I'll go ahead and let you do the curly cue.
Yeah, okay. I use the Legenda. You don't have to, like, you can use any machine that will blow up 260s, but this is what I have. And I like to travel with it. It's battery operated. And the battery, like, miraculously holds a charge like forever. So it's a really nice machine. So for today, I'm just using Sempertex. This is what I have here. I find most 260s are really the same. I like to pre-inflate. Can you see me okay? Because I use my fingers. Kristen, when I were talking to her, she's like, I use the pipe. I'm like, I like to use my fingers. It's how I learned.
Yep. That's how I do it too, keeping it flat with your fingers. So yep, just keep showing it there.
I'm gonna use these ones. I find are a little bit longer, so I need to use 3 fingers, but with Qualitex I can use 2 fingers. It just depends. And then you're literally just kind of, I know it seems so easy, right? But I just kind of following it with it. And then if I don't love the end and it's not perfectly, kind of force it. If anything, I'm not a perfectionist. I like things really nice, but at the end of the day, there's not one person that's going to be like, it's not curly enough. It's not like no one's going to do it. They're going to be like, oh my God, those are curls. That's good enough for me. Do you want me to do it one more time?
Yes, please. And so one of the keys when you guys are holding it down, and I call it a gun with your fingers. And then as she wrapped it around her finger, you just keep it nice and flat so the air can go through. And this is something you just have to practice over and over again.
Literally. It does take a while to get good at. So can you see okay? I'm going to put it on 3 fingers because the metallic balloons are a bit longer. And it's making sure that your thing is flat. Like if you twist it, it's not going to do it. It has to be flat. And then kind of wherever it lands. It actually seems so easy when I'm doing it, but I know that it's hard. It's totally about practice.
Yeah, and so I've done them on my twin air. Another tip, sometimes people are saying that they wanted to make sure that their curly cues lasted longer. The tip on that is using a nitro tank with a rubber tip. But what I want you to do is blow up a 260 at your house, curl it up or in your workshop, and see how long it lasts. And if curly cues don't last great in your environment, they're usually a thing that you'd only want to put in like a day or two before you give it to somebody, because 260s do shrink quicker than anything else. Like 5 inches and 11-inch balloons can be done a week in advance, but typically a 260, you're looking at 2 to 3 days before it starts getting that squishy look. Have you found that to be the case?
Yeah,
for you?
I totally agree. I start my 5-inch on the 26th, 27th, and then I do my curlies on the 28th. So I kind of like push myself through it. Like I take like an hour because it's Christmas holidays. Like my kids are home. Like I got things to do too. So I kind of push it through a few days. But this year I'm gonna have to do it a bit early because I'm going to Chris Potts and Marlene Potts' house with Kristen, and we're helping him with Great Wolf Lodge this year. So we're super excited, and we're like over the moon that they are letting us come and just like be there with them. Cool. I've done it before with them. They're the coolest people, and it's so humbling to be like offer your services and someone's like, yeah, come on down and come and join us. So they're just the nicest people in the whole world, and so I'm really excited to go to Great Wolf Lodge. And it's a long day. Like it's hard work. We have to be there for 10 a.m. and then we stay with them, and they can't actually hang anything or do anything until 12:30 at night. So we'll be blowing up balloons all day, and then at night we get to hang it all or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. We didn't actually ask. We were just like, we'll be there.
I love it. Well, I think that's one of the funnest parts of building relationships coming to trainings, and why I encourage so many people to come to Summit, where it's only 100 people and over 24 instructors, so that you can build those relationships. So later on, you can go and travel to do big or different installs than what you would normally do at home. So I love that you're having that opportunity. Chris and Marlene are awesome.
I met Marlene at Summit, and she was like, oh yeah, if you want to come help us for New Year's, it was in 2020. She's like, just you can come. And I was like, pardon? I was like, don't invite me if I can't come, because if you invite me, I'll be there. Like I'm that person that you're like, oh, you can come to my house sometime. I'm like, where do you live? Like, yeah, I'll be there. Like I think you're like that a lot too, Joanne. If someone's like, you can come to my house, you're like, okay, when?
Well, and when I'm looking on this, I'm like, oh yeah, there's people here I've been to. I've been to Stephanie Colefield's house. I've been to Denise Allen's house. And the first two that I will see, popped up. But that's the cool thing about our industry, guys, is if you have not been to a hands-on training yet, you need to get to them, because that's where you build relationships with people. And then as you travel, number one, it gives you opportunities to travel and help people out. But also as you travel, it's fun to go see how people have balloons set up in their home or their warehouse or their storefront, because that's where you gain so much information. So really quickly, I want to answer a couple of questions that have come up already, and I'm going to put a share screen up. So for those of you guys who've missed it, you can see it. So I'm going to share my screen if I push the right button. All right. So for those of you who came in a little bit later, just to let you know, this replay will be up in Balloon Boss Mastermind Program, in my Facebook groups, and also on my YouTube channel. So if you missed the beginning, take a deep breath. I promise you'll get to see the replay. So if you guys are seeing my screen, let me see over here. This is 3 Sparrows, how she's got things set up where it says New Year Crew 2024 and the Hello 2024. So that's where she's talking about cutting that vinyl out in advance and having it ready to go. Some people were asking me how much you charge for them. Jenny's doing $45 each, or 2 for $80. So the main thing, what I want you to do is I want you to practice it. I want you to time yourself doing it and make sure that you do it at the rate that's worth your time. And so make sure that if you can do them in bulk production, that makes it even better for you to be efficient with your time. So that's a couple of answers.
Joette, sorry to interrupt you. For mastermind people, what I'll do is I will take my logo off that, and I will take my decals off those balloons, and I'll make sure that I have a picture, and I'll make sure you have that. But I will also give you the pictures of those decals that you can use for if you're in Mastermind, for your balloon like pop. I think it's so important. I think Mastermind's such a great group. So for those people that are in Mastermind, I'll throw all that stuff in there over the next couple, and then you can just reuse it at your own leisure.
Yay, thank you, Jean. I appreciate that. For anybody who doesn't know, you can go to BalloonCoach.com and click on Balloon Boss Mastermind to join us online, to have ongoing training and support. And we have editable templates and to sell balloon drops, pop drops. I have more photos that we just took the other day of some pop drops too for you. But for those people who are asking, hey, where do I get this super stuffer machine from? What is it called? It is called the Super Stuffer Balloon Machine with expander. So the expander itself is $125 value. So it comes in this kit. So when she was talking about Marlene and Chris Potts, they are the owners of Stuffed Balloons from A to Z. So that is how they originally got into the balloon industry over 30 years ago, was they had gone to a thing and found out about stuffed balloons, and they started in malls and had in kiosks. Then they opened up their own place, and they do huge, amazing decor installs. But they actually got started in the industry with stuffed balloons. So we call Marlene the queen of balloon stuffing, and she's amazing. She has all this other training on here too. So for the people who are asking about that, I'm going to put that back in the chat for you guys, so you know that. Another question that came up is, where do you get your confetti from? And so I'll let Jenny answer that, where she got hers from, and then I'll show you a couple of other resources that you can get confetti from.
For me, I use my supplier, which is SKS Novelty. So that's like super not helpful to me.
Yeah, because they're in Canada, right?
Yeah. So I think Burton and Burton is that your place?
So right now I'm showing the pictures of flutterfetti.com. Flutterfetti.com, I've met the owner. She came to Summit a couple of years ago and did a demo for us. I had met her originally because Balloons by Tommy gets their streamers from them. So when you go back onto their homepage, well, number one, I want to show you, there's different kinds of confetti that do different things. This is corkscrew confetti. And so the way it flies is different than regular confetti. So if you're doing a drop from higher up, this is super, super cool. So I'm going to play with it some with the other poppers to see how it works. But they have hearts, they have stars, and they have neon reactive, they have butterflies. So there's all this awesome confetti, and you can pick just to get one color or get mixed colors. So lots of cool designs from it, and they are known worldwide for just being phenomenal confetti. And there's videos here. So the owner, Renee, has actually done some training for us in the past too, in Balloon Boss Mastermind, and she'll be talking to us again starting in 2024. So this is just another cool place to get it if you're needing something that's a little bit more unique than what your local balloon distributors carry. But many of the balloon distributors do also offer confetti in the small bags. So wanted to let you know about that. So for the people who are just saying, oh, I need neon confetti, it's here. And then they also have streamers, which the streamers are used when you are doing like 16-inch balloons from the ceiling and you want really beautiful foil coming down from your balloons. That's what Tommy used. And so we actually were in a ballroom, and we would take the streamer and throw it out and then cut it and tie it to two balloons. So just another fun resource there. So don't want to get too far off a track, but I'm making sure I'm answering these questions that people had earlier. So we've shown you how to make the 260 curls. We've shown you the machine to use. And then another person had stated, if you're wanting your 260 curl to last a little bit longer, you can put a little bit of high float in it. Personally, that's not my favorite thing to do because it can get messy. So just kind of planning out where you're just doing a couple of days in advance, or don't put curly cues in it. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is on BalloonCoach.com. If you're not in our mastermind program yet, you can click here to join for a month. You don't have to wait till the start of the month. You can start now, be a part of our Jumpstart Challenge in the new year that I'm super excited about. Or if you're wanting to join Jenny at Balloon Boss Summit in Orlando in November, we are going to be November 9th through the 14th at Disney Springs Holiday Inn. And you guys are the first to hear that Jenny will be sponsored by Tough Tex Balloons for our 2024 summit. So Tough Tex likes to have a new instructor each year that they're sponsoring at Summit. And Jenny has been in the background working on photos for the last couple of years. She's still going to help out with that, but we've got some leaders in training coming in to help out in that area. And then Jenny's going to be able to step up on stage and do a lot of great tips and tricks for you using Tough Tex balloons in 2024 in Orlando. So if you'd like to join us, those tickets are on sale. We have already sold half. There's only 100 delegates and 50 of the seats are already gone. So if you'd like to do that, you can click on the link, get the current early bird discount, and either pay in full or pay in a 10-month payment plan. So I want to make sure you guys know those options are there. And I'm going to stop my share and we're going to get into all these questions. Denise says congratulations to Jenny, and super excited about that. So I am going to say, can we redo the stuffed balloon? For instance, if we didn't tie it and we used a 260 or we used a clip, can we deflate it and then use it again with the machine?
Yeah. Actually, that's a great question. I sometimes, and I'm really like good at what I'm doing and I do things early. I just stuff them and then I let the air out and then it's easy. There's less it's less room to store. And then I just blow them back up with my air force later because this is a lot of room, right? Like if you're not really ready for it. Or I've had people that want to travel with them and they're scared they'll pop. So I'll leave them with no air in it, with all the balloons in it, but no air. And then I sell them a hand pump and they blow it up when they get to like their cottage or whatever, because they're worried that they'll pop in the car. So I think that's a good option. I'll show you again how to do it and what to do if you lose air. Oh, bring this bad boy back out. It is a lot of room. I get it that it's a lot of room to own, but I think they sell like a top one, right? A puffin stuff.
Yeah, there is one that you don't have the big base, that it's just the top piece, the puffin stuff.
Yeah.
And
I'm one of those people that just buys things. I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
And Jenny, when you take that apart, if it was just the puffin stuff, you take the top part off and it goes onto the bottom part, right? Like
yes.
The holes fit inside of each other.
Yeah, and this is like, because I have a 3-foot version. It's super ancient, but this is what the top looks like, and you would put this on top to get the air. It's not the same as this one, sucks from the bottom, but this one you'd have to. So it's a bit different, but I know that it works just as well. It's easier to store. So if storage is an issue for you, it's a good option. I'm gonna just blow this up quickly on my. Can you see my Air Force? I guess I could aim myself this way a bit.
Currently not seeing it. All right, thanks.
Yeah. So this is like my. I used to see like my messy side of my workshop. I don't show people. Yeah, that's the messy side. To show people where all my messes are hidden. Sure, we all have them. So you're just going to do it inside out. And then, like I said, I like to roll it. I don't think you have to, but I like to roll it. And then you put it on. Make sure it goes wide. And then you just literally drop it on. Make sure that all your, like, I guess making sure that all the, like, the neck is over everything. I remember when I first did this, I cried. it was Easter and I'd said that I was going to make all these Easter stuffed balloons and I couldn't figure out how to get it onto this thing and it kept popping off and I cried. I was like, this is so stupid. I'm never doing this again. I called Marlene and she's like, oh, like you just roll the neck. I was like, okay. And then it worked. And then I was like, okay, no more crying. So I'm like, I really did. I don't cry about much, but I was like so frustrated. So these are the balloons I'm using. They're the Jamar 18-inch. I like the neck on them. I could show you with a different one. It all works the same. That's the noise you want. If you don't get that noise, then it's not good enough. That's the key. So what was the goal? You wanted me to show you if something went wrong?
They were just asking, like, after they've used let's say that they're doing a display and then they don't end up using the balloon and selling it, like, can they undo it and reuse it again? So this just shows you that, yes, you can reuse the balloon again.
Yeah, you can. Would I? No.
You would have to pop the stuff inside though, right?
Which is a big pain in the ass. I would put a little tiny hole in it and let all the air go out. And then if you wanted to reuse the inside, you could, but I don't know. For the amount of money, like, I'd call it a day.
Yeah, okay. So if you're wanting to reuse the stuff that's inside, you could do a little bit of a pop and then pull it apart. Yeah. But you'd want to do it into a bag. It could be a mess and a lot of times, so sometimes it's better just to start.
For me, like, time is more valuable.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it away. I'd probably like let my kids use it or like go to a neighbor's house and be like, hey, like we had an extra one and like Happy New Year. My gift to you.
Oh, I love that. And here's the thing, guys, marketing dollars. People so many times get stuck spending money on stuff that doesn't work, like this ad that's going to be seen by everyone, or like put your stuff in this magazine. What works better than anything is people being able to experience your balloons.
Yeah.
So if you actually give that away to somebody who needs to be a person that purchased from you in the future, or you just ask them, hey, do you mind taking a picture or a video while it goes off or whatever, that's going to be more benefit than sitting there and spending an hour trying to pull it apart.
The other tip is that if this did lose air, it does happen. It like literally doesn't. I'm really rough with my machine too. Like, so say it lost air. If it was these ones, I would just personally let all the air lose air. And then people they could travel with it if they really wanted to and just like put their own air in. But you can literally just blow it up again. Like, I wouldn't even try to put it back on my machine because to me that's a waste of time. It'll blow it.
So the step Jenny did with taking the air out of it is typically called cocooning. And I learned that from Tommy and Scott years ago when we were I used to go to Chicago and do all their balloon drops with them for a couple of years.
It has a name.
And so back then, Tommy had just a little teeny car. And so you couldn't have a balloon. And he often did the 3-foots. So we would do them in an apartment, let the air out, and then we just took a little tiny inflator with us. When we got to location, we'd plug it in and then blow them up to put them up in the restaurants and the bars and things that they served.
I'm gonna if you use these, I don't use them very often, but I do know how to use them. So if you were going to use these little pads, you have to twist this and slide it through and around. Like, to me, like, the likelihood of it popping is higher. But it technically does work. Like, do I use them? Not very rare would I use them. I own them because I think like Marlene Potts told me one time she used them and I was like, well, if Marlene Potts used them, I'm going to use them too. But this way you could undo, technically, you could undo it because you would just pull because there's no knot or anything.
Yeah, I think those are typically done more for like gift-in-a balloons, where you
Yeah.
might want to put more air, like if it's sitting in a retail space or in a demo
Yeah.
for 5 days, where you might want to put a little more air in to freshen it up. Then that clip is used to freshen up. But with a pop drop, you just want to tie the knot and be ready to go.
On its way. Yeah.
Robert, I know you had your hand up. What question do you have for us today?
Okay, I just purchased one of these stuffers. Now, what I was trying to do is I was trying to get a head start using one of these stuffers for like the 24 and the 36 inch. When I put it in there, I was using I think one of the problems is I was using Metallics and they got this extra long neck, and the neck would kind of squeeze into the 5-inch opening,
Yep.
if you know what I'm saying.
That's okay. You just smush it right through that point. That's
You
all you have to
just-
do.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I was trying that, and the rubber against rubber was not cooperating with me.
Yeah, I can try.
So-
I can grab a 3 foot and or a 2 foot one, and you try it if you want to see it.
That'd be
Um,
great.
Yeah, I've done it before.
So typically, this machine is recommended for 18-inch stuffing
Right.
balloons. And 18-inch stuffing balloons come with that wider neck, and that's why it's easier to use. But yeah, thanks for showing that to us, Jenny. That'd be great. Guys, if there's anybody that had other specific questions about making the stuffed balloons, please feel free to ask that question. If you have to jump off soon and I've missed a question that's important, joette@BalloonCoach.com is my email address. Or also, if you join Balloon Boss Mastermind Program, we have an ongoing group chat where you can ask me a question at any time, and our members or myself will answer your question. We have tons of information and other videos on balloon drops, pop drops, videos, Canva templates on how to make, market, and sell them. So if you're needing those extra steps, join us for a month. Give that to yourself as a Christmas present, or if you're watching this later, as a gift to your business, and just hang out with us for a month. See if we can help you out. And again, you can always email me, joette@ballooncoach.com, or on my website, there is a place to have a free 10-minute consultation with me. Just in case people are jumping off, Jenny, I want to thank you for doing this today. You're amazing. And
making sure this will
wait,
work.
we can't see you.
I know. I want to make sure it works first.
Oh, okay.
I think it will though.
I love it. She's practicing off camera before she goes on camera.
I'm pretty sure it will.
And then for the people who are asking if they can rewatch this, everything with Balloon Coach is taped. If it's a lunch and learn, it ends up on my website. On my YouTube channel, Balloon Coach, Balloon Boss. And it will always end up in my mastermind program within 3 days. And then I also put it up in our Facebook groups. So if you're not following me in those places, come hang out with us.
Yeah, it totally works.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and show us?
Yeah. I'll show you. As long as you're just doing it for pop drops, it's fine. But if you're doing it for any other reason, I wouldn't do it this way. But okay, so the same thing goes. You're going to put it inside out.
And Jen, people are asking, why do you do inside out?
Because if you don't, the inside will be on the outside. Does that make sense?
Because the balloon flips over, basically.
Yeah. That's the wording. I'm not great with wording sometimes. So see, the neck is like super different, but the necks are thin, right? I don't even know what type of balloon this is, but you really do need to twist that neck over. I think that's the key to this, is making sure that the neck is twisted over. And it's literally the same method as we did before. But obviously this is like a bigger balloon, so you kind of have to like get it really stuffed in there. Can you see it hanging okay? It's so big. And then you're just pushing your button and it's going to pull the air. I put my hand in the neck to give it that extra, the stick to the neck. So now I'll show you that. See how you don't have as much space? I see what you're saying, Patrick. There's not enough space.
Yeah, that was the problem I was trying to solve. When I push my hands, when it
But you
Vacuumed,
doesn't
it did
matter.
open it up quite a bit, but it doesn't work every time.
Yeah, all you have to do is just push your balloon through it. So it's probably reasonable. You might have to just make them a little bit smaller maybe, but like you just have to push it through it. And it'll eventually go. You have to be forceful, but just you have to remember that these balloons can handle it. They're like high-end balloon, they're good quality.
Okay.
But when in doubt, just make them a bit smaller. Oversize them, make them smaller so they're squishy and will fit through that hole. And I think you'd be fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Thanks, Jenny, that's awesome. So the other thing a lot of people will do when they're doing the bigger balloons, they'll use a T-Rex machine instead that you keep stuffing into. The thing with the T-Rex, you have to make sure it's the exact right size that just fits through that thing. So you can hold it as a stopper. If not, everything flies back at you. It's kind of crazy.
Here's my T-Rex. Like blow off some dust here. But it still like exists, like if I needed it. But I would highly suggest still having this. This will save your fingers. It'll still get on there. I can't tell you like my fingers felt in the past trying to get it around those bits. It's the same though.
That's awesome. So I'm checking out the other questions. We've had lots of great questions coming in. One was about joining my Facebook groups. I have Balloon, if you're not doing the paid program, so paid program, go to BalloonCoach.com, click on Mastermind. For wanting to be in an open community, if you are brand new to the industry, then I encourage you to go to, let's see, Balloon Business Startup. So I'm going to show you guys and give you those links. And then Jenny, are you able to see any of the chat on your end or no?
Yeah, I think I'm
okay. So while I'm answering these questions, if you can check to see if there's anything else I had missed, because several came in at the same time. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys this so you have this information. So I've been in the balloon industry since 2003. I've done lots of balloon drops over the years. Not a lot of pop drops, a few. I did one that was a reverse pop drop where we put helium balloons in the 3-foot and it was on columns. And as the bride and groom came by it, we popped it and then the helium went up to the ceiling so that during the actual wedding, the helium balloons would float down because 5-inch balloons are not meant for helium and they don't last very long. So it was something that I tested several times to know exactly how many hours in advance I could make the design. And it was so cool that then throughout the wedding reception, these 5-inch balloons came down from the ceiling that had gone up as their special effect. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with that too, if you play with things over time. So in the chat, for those of you who are asking about my Facebook groups, one is Balloon Business Startup with Balloon Coach. So if you've been in the industry just a year or two, or you haven't actually started with a business license yet, then this is the one that I encourage you to go into. If you're an established company, you've been selling balloons for a couple of years now, then Balloon Coach Community is my open group for that. Both of them do have things in our guides where you can see some past information, just hang out and talk. But if you're wanting like my full attention and me to give you a direct link to, hey, here's a Canva template you can use to market your pop drops. Here's images from my work or other people in our group's work that you can use. Like Jenny was saying today that she's giving a bonus to all the mastermind members. Well, they'll have a template to be able to use in their own marketing. Those kind of resources are off of BalloonCoach.com in our mastermind program. So to get into that private conversation, you do have to go to BalloonCoach.com and then click on Discover Balloon Boss Mastermind, and then you can join us there. And it is not a contract. You can stay just 1 month, but I promise you, if you put to use even one thing or use one editable template for marketing, you will make your money back if you follow the steps that are in that program. So just throwing that out there. And let's see, I want to make sure I answer any other questions that you guys have. So at this point, what I'm going to do is say, I'm going to end our recording so that we'll be at an hour. But A reminder, you can go to BalloonCoach.com to come hang out and learn from Jenny at Summit in Orlando in November. You can be a part of our mastermind program from ongoing training support. And if you want to be a part of these after recording chats, come to our next live where we're doing a lunch and learn or another training, and we'll answer more of your questions. Those of you who are on with me live, I will stay on and answer your questions for you. I will also have in the chat on Facebook, on Instagram, I'll have those links to stuffed balloons from A to Z and other places that you can purchase items from. Jenny, any closing words before I hit the pause button?
No, I hope to see you guys all next year in 2024. And Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yay! Hey guys, I remember there was one other thing that I wanted to show you. And that is if you don't have a stuffing machine, what to use. This is a balloon stick by Premium Conwin. Products has balloon sticks. These are the new ones that are environmentally friendly. They're brown rather than white. So you can use those. I'm going to mute you for a second, Jenny. So the brown ones can go, and then you can use the plastic that you use for your cup and stick. So sometimes they're a white or a clear and then a white stick. So you just use foam tape and put it onto a tile. This gives you an extra hand so you don't have to be stuffing the balloons in it. It can stand next to you. Or I do know some people who will do this where they'll just hold the stick in their hand. And then what you're simply doing is you're taking your balloon, got the balloons right here for you, and it's just time consuming and it hurts your hands a little bit, but yeah, if you have an electric inflator, it'll go a little bit faster. But all you're doing is, if you don't want to use a stick, holding it in your hand and you're using the stick here that's already on the tile, you just put the balloon on there. Now you've got both hands free to go over to inflate your balloons and use them for stuffing. So what you'll end up doing is putting some air into your 16-inch or 18-inch balloon. And then you're going to go into that red one, into that other neck, and then inflate that balloon. It's best to do this where you've got like an Air Force 4 or another piece of electric equipment that you can keep putting air into your clear balloon. But now you're just going to go up and tie your knot. If you want to cut off your necks, you can, depending on the look and how much somebody's paid for it. But if they've not paid a lot, just leave that neck on there, push it in, and put some more air into your balloon. And so with a hand pump, this can take a lot of time. Woo! And it can pop on you. So it's also good to pre-stretch those balloons in advance so that it is got more pliability. All right. And now, again, what you're doing is you're taking your 5-inch balloon, putting it on the balloon stick, sliding it over, grabbing that neck, and then putting your inflator. I have a Premium Twin Air, and so I set it for just the right size for my 5-inch balloons, so I could just push the foot pedal and go. Now, by having a little bit more room, it helps. When you pull this balloon, it blocks the air, allows you to go ahead and tie there, and then take your next balloon, put it on your stick, and then you're going to go up to try to not lose too much air, to quickly go over there, pull it back up, and again. Time yourself when you do this to see how long it takes, to make sure you're charging your hourly wage, to make sure you're getting paid enough to do this. Some people love doing it this way, old school, but again, as you can see from Jenny's stuffer, it's a much more convenient and easier on your body. But this is how you can get your balloons using just a stick and a hand pump or other inflator. All right, so I wanted to make sure you guys got that extra tip. For those of you who don't have an inflator yet, you'll want to get one afterwards and then go to stuff balloons from A to Z.